it's Lana here, and today I've got a video that's going to tell you something that you might not actually want to hear. You might want to click off this video, I don't know. I think it's stuff that everybody needs to know that a lot of you guys probably don't know. So I'm going to tell you guys, please make sure that you thumbs up this video and subscribe. I am posting new videos every single day in January. I really hope you guys are enjoying them, so switch on your notifications so you don't miss them, and let's go ahead and get on with this video. So I get a lot of comments from people telling me that my hair can't grow as fast as it says it does, or people say that their hair gets to a certain length and then breaks off, or they just can't grow their hair past a certain length. I understand that because I know people who have gone through that, and it just feels like your hair just cannot get past a certain length. So I completely understand what you guys are saying, and I always used to say that you could get past it. Like, I always used to think that there was a way through it, but then I learned something which kind of opened my eyes, and now I understand why. I know why your hair isn't getting past a certain length. I know why some people's hair just can't get past a certain length, and it all makes sense now, and I'm going to tell you guys what it is. So the first person to kind of open my eyes to this was my friend James. He's a hairstylist, and if you want to follow him, his Instagram name is James Catalano Hair, and he told me about the hair life cycle, which, to be honest, is something that I hadn't really ever thought about before. But he kind of explained that every single hair has an expiry date and it falls out. Like, that seemed just crazy to me, so I went ahead and researched it. I already knew that everybody loses about 100 hairs a day, and I feel like a lot of you guys will know that because it's just kind of common knowledge that you shed a lot of hair every day. It's completely normal. It's what you see in your hairbrush, it's what you see when you wash your hair, and that happens to everybody. So it can be anything from around about 50 hairs a day to 100 hairs a day. We just lose it. So obviously we're not going bald even though we're losing this much hair, so it must be growing back. So I researched it, and that's completely true. So for every hair that you lose, a new hair pops out of that same follicle and takes its place. So it's from the same follicle, it grows a hair, it pops out, a new one grows, and that happens to 100 hairs every day. Up to 100 hairs. So I went ahead and I did some more research because I wanted to know what is happening to everybody who's saying that their hair just isn't growing, even though they're following all of these tips. And I know that a lot of you guys watching are probably going to be looking at this thinking, yes, that's me. Brace yourselves. There are 3 or 4 stages of the hair life cycle, depending how you look at it. The first stage is the stage at which your hair follicle is actually growing hair. So like, imagine each individual strand of hair belongs in a little follicle on your scalp. So for every strand, it's in a little follicle. And for about 3 to 5 years, that hair is growing. So that follicle is producing hair and it's growing out of your scalp. And that happens for about 3 to 5 years on most people. So if you want to be fancy, that is actually called the anagen stage, the growth stage. Stage 2 is the resting stage. So this is when your follicle just decides, I don't want to grow that hair anymore. I'm just going to sit here, and it has a little rest. It's been working hard for 3 to 5 years to grow your hair. It can't be bothered anymore. It's just going to sit and it's just going to rest. It's getting ready for the next stage. So it's just having a little bit of a rest. And your hair isn't growing, and that stage lasts for about 2 weeks. Then stage 3 comes along, and stage 3 is what leads you to lose 100 hairs a day. So at stage 3, the hair follicle just says goodbye to the hair. It spent 3 to 5 years growing that hair, and it's done with it. It's like, goodbye, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, ciao, it's gone. It sends it away like a bird flying the nest. Go away, hair. And it lets it fall out. So that's when it falls out, when you're brushing your hair or you're washing your hair or something like that. That is completely normal. And then once it said goodbye, it will start raising another piece of hair out, and that will be the birth of a new life cycle of hair, and then it will start growing it for 3 to 5 years again. So the length of your hair and how long you can grow your hair is going to depend on how fast you can grow it in the time that you're in the growth period. So if you're in the growth period for 3 to 5 years, that's as much time as your hair has got to grow, really. For most people, you're not going to be looking at people saying that they grew their hair for 10 years. For most people, if your hair has been on your head for 10 years, it's going to fall out. For most people. So you could be looking at somebody's ends, and their ends could be down like waist length. That's not 10-year-old hair. All the 10-year-old hairs are gone. They were gone long ago. If I've got hair down here, it's probably about 4 years old. No, my ends are about, I'd say my ends are about 3 or 4 years old, which means they're probably gonna fall out soon. And then you never know, this might be as long as I can actually grow my hair. I've never tried to grow my hair longer than this. It all depends on how long you can get your hair in the growth stage. So here's the thing that a lot of you guys aren't going to want to hear. This is a thing that is maybe gonna upset some of you, and I really hope it doesn't, but just wait until the end of this video. So not everybody's hair life cycle is the same amount of time. Some of you might only have a 3-year hair life cycle. Some of you might have a 7-year hair life cycle, so you can grow your hair longer because you've got more time to grow it before it sheds. So I read an article on philipkingsley.com, and he was saying that the average hair life cycle is 3 to 5 years long, and in that time most people can grow their hair to about 18 to 30 inches long. And he also said that Asian people tend to have a longer hair life cycle, so they can keep growing their hair for up to 7 years before it sheds, which is why it might seem like Asian people can grow their hair a lot longer. Scientifically, maybe they can. But what I'm saying to you guys is that everybody is different. There are so many variables, and I really don't want you guys to focus too much on this, but just know that it does make a difference. What it comes down to really is how long you can grow your hair, how quickly you can grow your hair in the time frame that you've got. Look at it like a challenge, maybe. So I also read over on hairscientists.org that Afro hair texture does seem to have the shortest hair growth cycle, but that is not the reason why Afro hair tends to be a little bit shorter. They said that the main reason is due to breakage, and it breaks because it tends to be more fragile and more delicate. There's stuff that we can do about that. Don't worry at all. All you need to do is have a look at Benny Harlem. Google Benny Harlem, have a look at him on Instagram, have a look at his daughter too. Afro hair texture, longest Afro hair that I've seen in a long time. I don't know, I don't think he's in the record books or anything, but he's got damn long hair, and so is his daughter, and it's Afro hair, so it's definitely possible. So don't focus too much on this whole hair life cycle thing. But if the main reason, according to hairscientist.org, if the main reason for Afro hair textures being shorter and curly hair textures being shorter is down to breakage, then there's definitely stuff that we can do about that. We can take very good care of our hair. We can moisturize it, we can do deep treatments, we can use protective hairstyles, we can do all of the tips that I talk about on my channel, and we can preserve the hair that we are growing, and it can grow as long as Benny Harlem's hair. So that is everything that I have got for you guys today. I really hope that this video was kind of more eye-opening and not too upsetting. It's just something that I learned and something that I thought was really interesting, that I hope that you guys found interesting too. So yeah, so I am posting a video every single day in January, so make sure that your notifications are turned on so that you don't miss my uploads. However, I am flying to Italy tonight, so there is a chance that I might not have enough Wi-Fi to upload. I really hope I do. Make sure that you get me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and I will talk to you guys all the time on there. I'll definitely keep you updated on my trip. And yeah, thanks again so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye! That you'll be coming back.